Good morning. Naziva. Well, today, as you can see, we're in the town of Sighișoara in Mureș County, and it's a famous town for the citadel, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a small town, about 28,000 people living here, and it's in, as I said, Mureș County. The name Sighișoara probably derives from the German Schissburg, which was its German Saxon name. Schiss probably deriving from Sechs, the hexagon shape, 6 sides to the citadel, and each of the 6 corners has a tower. So we're going to go and have a look, and I'll explain a bit more about it as we go on. You get a good view here of the citadel and the river. The river, I think it's the Taverna Mare, which runs all the way to Mediaș and beyond. So, what were the Saxons doing here? Well, they were invited here because this part of Transylvania was originally ruled by the kings of Hungary, and in order to populate and defend their kingdom, they invited Saxons. And when the Saxons came, they built citadels and fortresses, and much of their trade was based around the guild system. So here in Sighișoara there were originally 15 guilds of different professions, and many of the guilds are associated with the towers that we're going to see up on the hill in the citadel. There's a bridge going across the river and a rather lovely Orthodox church ahead of us. And other things to look out for will be the birthplace of Vlad Tepes, the notional Dracula, who was born in a house very near the clock tower here. The guilds that they had and the towers that we'll see relate to tinsmiths, butchers, bootmakers, tailors, furriers, ironsmiths, rope makers, tanners. And outside the citadel there's another tower called the Face Tower, and the tallest tower is the clock tower in the centre. So we'll have a look and see if we can get up into the citadel. We'll also see many colourful houses. As you can see, it's a feature of the houses in Sighișoara. You can see the German influence from many of the names, and also the architectural style of the buildings, and the closed-in courtyards, normally with a gate for a horse and cart to be driven through. But it is quite a magical place. There's a concert hall, Musikverein, so German again there. But we'll head on up. There is apparently a school right at the top of the citadel, and those pupils must be the fittest pupils in Romania, I would think. What a climb, as we'll see. More churches, and one of the towers guarding the centre and the view back into the town. And the river valley. Okay, but we'll head on. Many fantastic viewpoints, so we'll just see what we can see. From this viewpoint, which is by the blacksmith's tower, one of the guilds I referred to, which were established in the late Middle Ages. And there's the church that we walked past when arriving from the station. And this may well be the town hall, but I'm not sure. It's a rather impressive, very impressive building, and I'll find out what it is. Like a palace up on the hill, perched up here. Okay, we'll head on, onwards and upwards. So here's the clock tower from another angle, with a passageway going down through the archway. We'll probably go back that way. Turnul de Chas, the clock tower. And here's the alleged house where Dracula was born, and it's now a restaurant, Casa Vlad Dracul. And you can see the different colours of the buildings, very substantial buildings around here. You could be forgiven for thinking you're in Germany. It's very Germanic in style, with the squares and beautiful painting on the walls. This is the square of the citadel, but we're going to head up there and we'll do a bigger tour on the way back. But we're going to go up this staircase, which is called the Scala Acoperita, the staircase with a roof, which takes us up to the highest point in the citadel. Very touristy town, but not at the moment because it's still early and it's not really the season yet. The clock tower we saw was 64 meters high. And the mayor of Sighișoara is rather unusual. He's an independent. His party is the Independent Union for Sighișoara. So neither of the, or none of the major parties are in power here. They value their independence in every respect. Okay, let's head up the staircase, which is just ahead of us. Built in 1642. built to help the pupils get up to the school on the hill. A mixture of stones and wood, and entirely covered. So, no chance of a snow day here, because the snow wouldn't prevent you going to school, and thoughtfully keeps the rain off as well. And at the top of the hill, the rather aptly named Church on the Hill, which is a Lutheran church dating from the 16th century. Another of the towers, which has been incorporated into a dwelling, into a house, and the remains of the wall around the citadel going down the hill. And at the end of the church we have the school I referred to, which is the Liceu Teoretic, and it's a rather splendid building as well. So a lot to see, and a lot of steps to take to get up this far. Now we'll head back down the staircase and we'll go and look for some more towers on the lower part of the citadel, because this is the very top. So a last look at the covered staircase, and then we'll head off. You can see the Germanic writing, Strada Scari, Umweg, Umweg. And it's a struggle for cars to get up. Very steep incline indeed. This is the German style I was talking to you about, a gate in the middle of a walled area, so you can't actually see inside the courtyard at all. The same here. Now they say in England, we say an Englishman's home is his castle. Well, that's certainly true of German architecture. Here's another example leading through. The usual tourist tat, because there are huge numbers of visitors to Sighișoara throughout the year. Inevitably Dracula playing a large role. Scheesburg, so Scheesburg, as I said, probably relates to the six corners of the citadel. Many other cities in Transylvania have a German name as well as a Romanian name, and the most famous being Sibiu, the biggest city in this area, which is known as Hermannstadt, and also Brașov, which is Kronstadt, and here we have it, Piazza Cetății, but Burgplatz, it's known as Burgplatz, so it has that name as well in German. And the Germanic heritage is a big part of this particular area. Very historic buildings, and another tower with twin entrances driven through the arches. It really is very beautiful and well worth a visit if you're in this part of Transylvania. I'll just find out what this tower is if I can. But the Tailor's Tower, Tunul Croitorilor. And as I said, we've got other towers heading off to the left and right. The medieval fortress of Sighișoara. Okay, well, I'm going to head back now to the station, get my train, and I hope you enjoyed having a wander around one of the prettiest towns in Romania. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you next time.